Hey guys, really quick before the video starts, I just want to say I know I normally try to keep my videos age appropriate to the game. That's why even when I was doing Roman, I didn't swear, I didn't say I did not say like foul language or bad words. I try to do that for every game, so if it's rated M and has a lot of swearing in it, then I'll swear, I don't care. But if I'm playing something like, and this is just an example, this is not a teaser, Battle for Bikini Bottom, I'm not gonna swear in that game at all. But this video, I cannot make that promise. There might be some foul language, so basically if you're watching this video and you don't know what the F word is, turn away from this video, come back in a few years, I promise it'll still be here, and if it's not, then my apologies. Alright, just wanted to get that little disclaimer out of the way. Thank you guys so much, you're all awesome, I'll see you in just a sec. What's up, nerds, and welcome back to Dual Transfer. It's a bit of an unusual episode. First of all, I've got Crux with me.
YOLO.
Let me make sure I unmuted you. Yes, I did. Okay, cool. So, anyone who's watched the last couple of episodes knows that I've been struggling with getting half-decent draws, and a lot of that problem has been my spell and trap game. So, I clearly need to fix my deck, and I am not what you would call good. But Crux is, or at the very least, he's better than me. So I have summoned him here to assist me with refining my X-Saber deck. Now, Crux, have you seen any of the episodes that have come out yet?
I'll be 100% honest. No, I have not.
But
looking at your deck right now, let's see.
I am going to say right now, there's no mods on this game, so the cards that were out when this game was made are what we've got to work with. Same goes for the ban list.
Okay.
So yeah, we've got Anu Piranha, Command Knight, Airbellum, Galahad, Pelamoro, Foal Troll, Emmer's Blade, Uruz, Pashul, another Foal Troll, Full Helm Knight. He's actually kind of been a rock star this Let's Play, gonna be honest. Guard Strike, Garzum, and Ragigura in terms of monsters, and I've got a variety of spells here. A majority of the editing I'm hoping will be in the spells and traps, because again, that is where I'm having a majority of my issues.
Okay.
It is so easy for me to forget I have Fisher in the deck because I could not tell you the last time I drew this card.
Okay, so because this is old school Yu-Gi-Oh! The cards that you typically always kind of need is that Mirror Force, Raigeki Break,
Magic Cylinder, you modern day competitive heathens.
Even like back then, Magic Cylinder wasn't always as good as you would hope.
Maybe, but it's the card you never expect.
Yeah.
And that in and of itself makes it pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Also, it's just fun.
Yeah. So you have a lot of like card-wise. Can you go to the X-Saber trap card real quick?
Yes, Saber Hole. It's basically Trap Hole, but only works if I have an X-Saber out.
Okay.
That's why I only have the one Trap Hole and didn't put any more copies into it, because it felt redundant.
Yeah, I would say like...
But it also felt, at least when I first built this deck, it felt important to have one non-X-Saber related hull card, you know?
Yeah. It is very redundant, especially since your entire deck is... X-Sabers. Like, the only time I would see, like, regular trap hull being, like, needed is if you go first and for whatever reason you don't have any X-Sabers in your hand.
No, like, that's the exact scenario that inspired me to put trap hull in the deck, but when you've got 3 copies of Saber Hull and 3 copies of most of the X-Sabers that this game has...
Yeah, so I would
like
probably...
to say the odds are small, but my god, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, I'd say, like, get rid of Trap Hole.
And like, for those curious, I am taking Crux's word as law for all intents and purposes. Like, I will justify what decisions I made with the initial building of this deck, but if he says to get rid of something, it's gone.
Yeah. Part of me, because, like, I know you like having 60-card decks, but most decks, depending on the archetype, you don't usually want to, like, cut down on, like, the cards to be the 40-card deck, so you have a better chance of always getting the cards you actually need.
Fair enough. The only reason that I still went with the 60-card deck for the X-Sabers is because their entire gimmick is summon spamming. So, like, using Emmer's Blade, literally any other X-Saber, will get you full troll, and once you have full troll on the field, you're pretty much never hurting for monsters.
So it really is just...
So it's like, it's simply to make sure that I have the monster count necessary to get to a full troll.
Yeah. I'd say get rid of that last trap card.
Strike Slash?
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, that card has been situational at best.
Yeah, so to really, like, what you want to do is you want to kind of take out all, like, the, like, very situational cards you have, so then you have it, okay, here's where I'm lacking. And where I'm kind of seeing, like, where you're lacking is, it doesn't look like you have any actual, bring, like, back from the grave type of cards, besides
full troll.
Yeah,
and Rugigura.
Scarecrow.
Rugigura does also do that.
Okay.
Yeah, well, okay, technically speaking, Rugigura brings it back from the graveyard to the hand, but, like, you get the point.
Yeah, like, as long as you're able to, like, kind of bounce cards from the graveyard to the hand, so you probably want to put a little bit of Doll in the deck, just as, like, it's going to be situational, but I think having a bit of Stall...
in, for example?
Yeah, so get Swords in there.
Actually, you know what? Really quick, while I am here, get that completely dead card out of my freaking deck. I don't know why I was so stupid. Here we go. Search menu, narrow search, card frame, spell. Because when you got over 40,000 motherfucking spell cards,
other cards, like better extra deck monsters.
Yeah, hang on. There we go. And since S is on the latter half of the alphabet, this is a problem with hacking in every single spell, every single card in the game.
Go up to the one right above.
Concealing Light?
Which was that?
It's the same thing as Swords of Revealing Light, except everything gets put face down, and it only lasts for 2 turns instead of 3.
Yeah. So sometimes, depending on the opponents, having something like Swords of Concealing Light is a good idea.
So I should put one in.
Yeah, because it's like Swords of Concealing Light and then like Sword and Shield.
Yeah. There's and let me tell you what, I hate when it comes to swords. I hate when it's the last turn of its use and some mother trucker uses giant Trunade. Like that is mean.
Yeah.
Anyway,
let's take a look at your extra deck monsters.
Well, wrong button. Hang on. So yeah, they're mostly X-Sabers, with a few noteworthy exceptions. We've got Lightning Warrior, because whenever he destroys a monster, he deals damage to my opponent based on their hand. Goyo Guardian for... I mean, this is before he got nerfed, so explanations are invalid.
Yeah.
Flamvel Urukaizas, because he deals piercing, and every time he damages the opponent, he gets stronger. So that, in my opinion, that kind of makes him one of the best synchro cards in the game.
Yeah, so that's kind of why you... That would be another reason why you want Swords of Darkness to force them into defensive position.
I could be convinced to get rid of Brianak, since his ability is essentially the same thing as Hewn Lei, except it costs you a card for each. And Armory Arm is primarily here to help power up my weaker X-Sabers.
Yeah, I'd say because Broniak is Oh no, I wasn't going to say take it out. I was going to say it's all that is a situational card that I think is very much needed because like you discard any number of cards in the graveyard or to the graveyard. What you can do is you can, if you wanted to like kind of redo your entire spell and trap, or your entire spell and trap parts of your deck, you can put you can find monster cards with graveyard effects. Where it's like if they say like if this card is sent to the graveyard, you could activate those effects and you can just chain them onto Brianak.
Yeah.
So that's what some people do if they have Brianak in their deck. They make it a fully graveyard heavy bounce deck where they send the card to the graveyard, have an effect happen, and they can special summon that monster from the graveyard.
Yeah, the main reason I put Brianak in this deck is because if you play literally any Yu-Gi-Oh video game of this era, you'll find that damn near every single deck that has synchro monsters uses Brianak. So I just figured better safe than sorry. You never know.
Yeah.
And I really don't have anything better to replace him with in terms of what this deck is capable of.
Yeah. What pots are available in this in the game?
That is an excellent question. Let me help you find that out. First, let's undo this. I am gonna learn these buttons. Don't ask me when I'm going to learn these buttons. Just know that I will. Wait, it's already alphabetical. I am sorry, everybody. There is no speed up.
I mean, if you're gonna edit this, you can just cut down to when we get the pots.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, we're finally back.
Okay,
so we got Pot of Avarice, which I've seen. I saw on a Lightsworn deck, but here was that Lightsworn deck's fatal flaw. It had no Judgment Dragon in it.
Yeah?
Like, why would anyone use Lightsworns and not include Judgment Dragon? That is so foolish.
So I would say definitely kind of at least 2 copies of Pot of Avarice.
Alright, well that means 2 cards gotta go. But we can talk about that in a minute. Pot of Benevolence. Select 2 cards from the graveyard and shuffle them into their owner's decks. Apparently, this implies that you can pick from your opponent's graveyard and send them to their deck as well, which honestly opens some interesting possibilities.
Yeah, but most people, um,
Don't.
the issue with a lot of, yeah, like on the modern day field, um, there are a lot of decks like the idea of bouncing to where, um, they want to get cards from the graveyard back into their deck, so that would just be helping them.
Pot of Duality,
Um,
I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Pot of Generosity. I almost called it Pot of Gen, thanks to the search engine over here on the right. Turn 2 cards from your hand to your deck, then shuffle your deck. That... I don't understand this card.
Okay, so Pop Generosity, the big thing about that one is, like how there are, like, people would need, like, to do bouncing from field to graveyard to deck.
Sure.
Pop Generosity, what it can allow you to do, let's say, you wanted to search your deck for a specific card. Because you wanted to activate a monster's effect. But you don't have that card in your deck anymore. It's now in your hand. So what you would do is you play Pot of Generosity, send it back into your deck.
It kind of is more for, like, level decks. You know, like Armed Dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. And it would also be like...
Pot of Greed does not exist. You don't see it. Alright, so only Pot of Avarice?
Yeah, I'd say Pot of Avarice, and I would say probably with the strength of your cards and how.
If I'm gonna be real with you, I would be willing to part with Dust Tornado, Reinforcements, and maybe one copy of Sakuretsu. I mean, unless you make a compelling enough argument. Oh, and Fisher, because again, I can't recall the last time I drew that card.
Yeah, I'd say probably.
I do want to keep Enemy Controller because that card has literally saved some of my monsters on occasion.
So, go back to Fisher real quick. I always forget if it's...
It targets the lowest attack point monster on your opponent's field. The other card you might have been thinking of was Hammer Shot.
Yeah. I'd say, even though you haven't gotten Fissure in a while and it is a very situational card, I would say keep Fissure for the sole point of, back in the day, whenever I would duel, whenever I ran Fissures in some of my decks, there were always instances where I have like 3 monsters on my side of the field, and the opponent also has 3. I was like,
just use that to kind of tip the odds that just that little bit you need.
Yeah, and it's also a great thing if like they have a monster that's in defense position with like 4,000 defense.
Yeah, like Millennium Shield or something. But at the same time, I also have Shield Crush with me, so. But
yeah.
Still.
Yeah, I would say Fissure would always be used for like those very annoying cards.
Yeah.
That just so happen would be the easiest to get rid of with Fissure.
Those cards that piss everybody off.
Yeah. So even though it's situational, I would say keep Fissure. Get rid of Reinforcement. I'd say keep Harpy because you need something besides Brionac where
I'm assuming you're talking about Tornado, and because you'll notice there isn't a Harpy's Feather Duster in this deck, although I should have considered that.
Yeah, I would say, if anything, you would want to change Tornado for Harpies.
Yeah, you know what? We'll do that after we figure out the after we get this pot situation settled.
Yeah.
So we've moved one card.
Yeah. Then the other one. The first two spells you have.
Axe of Despair and Banner of Courage.
Yeah. Can we hover over Axe of Despair real quick?
Gains 1,000 attack points, and when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, I contribute one monster to return this card to the top of the deck. I have never used its graveyard effect, but, I mean, I don't think I need to explain its potential.
Yeah.
And 1,000 points is 1,000 points.
Yeah. It's things is like, whenever I see equip cards like that, it's always like,
I mean, if you want to talk about equip cards that you can negotiate with, Big Bang Shot. Its drawback is very damning.
Oh yeah, no, get rid of Big Bang Shot.
Yeah, if we have space after we've done everything else, I may replace that wholesale with 2 copies of Fairy Meteor Crush. It's just safer.
Yeah, because I would say definitely 2 pots of Avarice.
And I know that you would argue at least maybe getting rid of either of these 2, but these cards are great because they are terrific bait for MST.
Well, Burden of the Mighty, that one is a...
Oh yeah, Burden of the Mighty is terrifying if you use it right.
Yeah, no, it's like the fact that...
It destroys power decks.
Yeah, like that one's perfectly fine, especially if you have a... you're running level manipulation cards.
And yeah, and like I said, Banner of Courage is great for drawing MST. Like, every time someone has used Mystical Space Typhoon, they almost always hit Banner of Courage, and the only times they don't is because it's not out.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yes.
I mainly use it just to draw MST and the like. Alright,
yeah.
So 2 copies of Avarice.
Yep, and then for that last one, I would say put in 1 Harpies.
1 Harpy's Feather Duster? Alright. 1 second,
Yeah.
everybody, because this is going to be a lot of... Well, maybe this is why I didn't consider it Mystical Space Typhoon.
Yeah, you have to go with
I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good old MST. Hang on. Heavy Storm, though.
Oh, Heavy Storm.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing as
Harpies. It's just
Harpies.
Except it goes both ways.
Yeah, and Harpies is
plays
also
both sides of the field.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Harpies is also just a it's the better option because it's a quick play.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know, when in doubt, Heavy Storm.
Yeah. So it's like if you're. It's also like a nice reset on at least spells and traps.
Yeah. And I would be lying if I said there haven't been occasions where I'm willing to throw away my back row.
Yeah.
If it means getting rid of particularly annoying enemy back row cards. level limit area B. Spiderweb Castle.
Yeah. And I'd say probably
literally every card in Roman's deck. I'm
definitely
still salty about that episode, okay?
Yeah, definitely do a couple of practice duels just to see how everything feels. Remember, it's the...
I mean, this is already looking a lot better just because of the few tweaks we've made.
Yeah, because remember, Paw of Avarice is basically...
It takes cards from your graveyard. Okay, actually, you know what? There is one monster in here I do want to discuss. Guard Strike. I have yet to, like, use him in the way that his ability intends. Because I only ever draw him at the very beginning of the duel, where he has absolutely zero urgency, and by the time I could use him, I typically end up drawing Full Troll, which makes Guard Strike pretty damn worthless.
So what we can do... how many tuners do you have?
Well, let's see. Airbellum, Pashul, Full Helm Knight. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I keep forgetting Palomoro's a tuner. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a tuner-heavy deck.
Okay.
This is a deck that was built for synchro summoning. If you want to get good at synchro summoning, this is the deck to do. But yeah, like what the easy option, for like replacement for Double X Saber Guard Strike is Marauding Captain, to my mind.
Yeah. The other thing is,
at the same time, I can't help wonder: are there better options? Like, there's a monster card, Double X Saber Bogard Knight. I would kill to have that guy in my deck, but he wasn't made at the time of this game.
So what some people do, and I'm saying some, not a lot, because it's a very finicky type of play. What some people do is using X Saber Guard Strike is like, because he basically is, with how little you seem to use him.
Yeah, like I've summoned him maybe once, and that was just through a traditional tribute summon because I was just sick and tired of having him in my goddamn hand.
Yeah. So what some people do is they'll have cards like Guard Strike, where they just it's so easy to get everything else on the field, where it just becomes very kind of difficult.
I suppose he has purpose for being an easy option for when I have to play Raigeki Break, but
yeah, like you would use him as a discard type of card where he's there for a throwaway. Yeah, he is the dedicated.
But like at the same time, if I want to dedicate a monster card to being the discard, I kind of want him to have a graveyard ability, you know?
Yeah, so this is where it now goes to, we look through the card, or cards that have specific graveyard abilities that would be like, when this card is sent to the graveyard, you're now able to do X, Y, and Z.
Let's go through the list of effect monsters, and when we find something promising, we'll let you know, nerds.
Well,
that didn't take anywhere near as much time as I was afraid it would.
Yeah. Attack, defense, changer.
Yeah, so first I gotta get rid of Guard Strike. Sorry, dude, you tried.
Yeah.
There's no but. You tried. And there we go. A and D changer. Alright. Only other place we could look at is this. But again, I don't really think there is a 15th Synchro card, unless I just want to be a nerd and put Red Dragon Archfiend or Stardust Dragon in here. Which, like, I could do, but what do those guys actually give me? that synergizes with this deck, you know?
So...
Because, like, if I really need muscle, I've got Mr. 3100 attack points over here.
Choose. I would say probably what you could do is you can put a Synchro Tuner in your deck, in the extra deck.
Okay, well, let's see what options are available, because that is a factor.
Because most Synchro
I'm fairly certain that there are some Synchro tuners, but I need to be sure.
Yeah. Like, modern day, there are.
Well, yeah, no, but like, this game takes place, quote-unquote, within the events of Season 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, so... we shall just have to peruse. We got Ally of Justice. You know, I don't like the Ally of Justice archetype, but you can't deny the monsters look damn cool.
They do, but their major drawback is they're only really effective against dark decks.
Yeah, if you run literally anything else, you're so screwed. I could put in another armory arm.
You could. That's always an option.
Honestly, if we don't find a better option, I'm probably just gonna do that. Because Armory Arm is kind of busted when you really think about it.
Yeah. Because I know definitely having a synchro tuner is usually a good idea. Is that... Ugh. I was going to say, if there was a Baron de Fleur in this deck, or in this game, you put that guy in there.
I mean, we would have seen him by now.
Yeah, that's what I say. If there was, I was going to say you put that guy in there because that is a.
Who's Baron de Fleur?
Baron de Fleur.
I assume he's a counterpart to Chevalier de Fleur.
Yeah, let me see if I can...
Okay, here's one. Formula Synchron, the default Synchro Tuner monster. No special requirements to Synchro Summon him, so that's good. But level 2... That would basically mean that it has to be Palomuro and AD Changer.
Yeah.
Not an automatic no. I'll put him in there just as a placeholder, but we'll keep looking.
Yeah. We're just looking for those yellow numbers.
I'm looking at the card descriptor thingy, the one in green text. I mean, same difference.
Yeah, let me pull up Baron's card description.
I would love to have Nitro Synchron, but then I would need Nitro Warrior, but I would need Nitro Synchron, and then I gotta freak all my deck around, and it's just not worth the time. Because Nitro Warrior is such a damn good monster.
Alright, so Baron de Fleur is a 10-star synchro monster.
Yeah.
And it says once per turn, you can target one card on the field and destroy it.
Damn.
Once while face up on the field, when a card or effect is activated, you can this is a quick effect. You can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. You can only use previous.
Terrifying.
Yep. The only you can only use the previous effect of Baron de Fleur once per turn, and once per turn during the standby phase, you can target one level 9 or lower monster in your graveyard. You can return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, you can special summon that monster.
That's insane. Alright, so yeah, Formula Synchron is the only Synchro Tuner monster because Tech Genus is not an archetype in this game yet. Otherwise, we could pull from them.
Yeah, and the fact that
it's technically a future card in this game.
Oh yeah, and also because Formula Synchron is just so low level.
Yeah, like if it was level 3, I would have more options, but
yeah. So you definitely want to use
just another
probably get
armory
another
arm.
Yeah, just get another armory.
Yeah. I synchro summon 2 armory arms and I equip them onto the same monster.
I mean that is doable.
It is doable, and it would be such an asshole thing to do. like I put 2 armory arms on freaking Gothams, nothing would stop him.
Yep.
Alright, let me see if I can... deck menu, save recipe... Oh yeah, the people haven't seen my emergency deck. So after the episode with Roman was done, I crafted this, which, hang on, let me go to load instead of save. We're not going to be fine-tuning this deck at all. This is just something I want us to point and laugh at. This is basically my I hate you and I want you to hate me in return deck. This deck focuses on destruction, damage, dealing passive damage, and just every ability I could find that would tick tick a real person player off. This is absolutely an I am being petty deck, and I really don't care.
I would have personally made a the breathing tax deck.
Oh yeah. Hang on, let me look at something.
Now, if it was
okay. Nah, I didn't think it was in. I'd have been shocked if it was around at this time period. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out Crux's VOD channel where we did Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. You'll see it.
There's a couple of years ago, there was an archetype released.
Oh, I need to reload my Saber deck.
Called
Otherwise, I'm gonna go in with this deck, and that's not a good idea.
Not Ashenville. I hate whenever I think of a card, and I can clearly see that card. I can't remember it for the life of me.
There's just too many goddamn cards. Konami, stop making more Yu-Gi-Oh cards and start making more good Yu-Gi-Oh anime and merchandise.
Albaz. Okay, it was Albaz.
Albaz. That sounds familiar.
So it's a dragon fusion deck mainly. Where like the main card in the kind of the titular card is called the Fallen of Albaz, and you have to use the Fallen of Albaz to summon all of your fusion monsters, and they have like some pretty broken ones like Mirror Jade the Ice Blade Dragon that dominated tournaments for like a long while.
Dang.
Let me see if I can.
This would have been a great hit for going first. But he drew absolutely nothing, so maybe it doesn't matter.
But Fallen of Albaz's thing is there is a dragon card. If I can find it. Not you.
I would have laughed if he had played a Mirror
Not
Force
you.
or something for 100 points of damage.
Knock. Is it branded? No.
Yeah, this is something that you should do, everybody, by the way. Like, once you've built and/or edited a deck, my god, you go straight into some way of practicing with it.
I'm almost certain it's an Albaz card because it's like I dueled my brother like a couple weeks ago where we swapped decks. But its effect was basically when this card's on the field, your opponent has to take like 300 life points of damage every time they want to activate an effect. So it was called the breathing tax. Or was it one of his Dark Lord cards that did that?
Could be.
See, See, it's hard for me to remember because he has a Dark Lord Despia Albaz deck where it's 3 archetypes in one.
Perfection. So yeah, this AI uses the same deck as what was his name? Raphael from freaking the Atlantis arc of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, except he's not anywhere, except this AI is nowhere near as good with it as Raphael was. Alright, let's get rid of these pesky back row cards that I don't trust. You saw nothing. You can't prove anything just happened.
You meant to do 2 things instead of 1.
And of course, it's the one I didn't hit. That is a problem. Oh, I don't like you. I'm gonna pay 1,000 life points to make up for my mistake. Oh. This is why I bring Crux in to help me with Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, people. He knows what he's doing. I do not.
I mean, I only typically know what I'm doing whenever I'm I built the deck from scratch, but even then, it's a lot of.
I mean, to be fair, you still know better than me, regardless. It's like we proved in college numerous times that you're the better duelist.
Yet I still cannot hold a candle to my brother.
That is how it goes. For me, it was my cousin. He's like half a year older than me, and I spent the entirety of my childhood never being able to beat him in a Pokemon battle. Didn't matter what game we played. His Pokemon were always just better than mine. And then we battled once during this convention that a mall in Texas was running to celebrate the launch of Pokemon Black and White, where I finally did beat him. Because he had Servine and I had Pignite, and that was literally the only reason I beat him. It was cheap, but I didn't care. It counts. Alright, I ran across absolutely 0 of the new cards, but I guess that doesn't matter too much.
Yeah. Like, whenever you start doing more duels, you'll start seeing them. So, like,
yeah,
Bob Avarice is basically like...
I just figured, like, at the very least, one on-screen practice duel was appropriate.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so very much for watching this completely unnecessary filler episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Duel Transfer. If you
it's like a regular anime.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's proof I'm an anime fan. If you like if you did stick around and you watched this video, then I do appreciate that. Please feel free to drop a like or just a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the bell so that way you know when more stuff is coming out. At time of this video being made, Skyward Sword will have ended not too long ago, so check out Birth by Terra. I made a last-minute decision recently about the Kingdom Hearts franchise that I am going to do that will make me hate myself. So stay tuned for that.
Was I told about this change or not?
You'll be told about the change when we cut off of this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go check out Crux's stuff. He's played Legacy of the Duelist, Stardust Accelerator, Reverse of Arcadia, all good games. Recommend them all. Stardust Accelerator's ending is half-assed, but the rest of the game is fun. Any closing notes, Crux?
I got nothing. I wasn't expecting to really do any Yu-Gi-Oh! Today.
Yeah. Later, nerds.
So, yeah. Bye, guys.